Memory is a funny thing. You know you remember something correctly. You know what you did and where you went. At least you think you do. You know you went to that park in the south of the city, but just then your friend tells you a story about that cool hotel you all stayed at in the exact same place. And another friend remembers doing sightseeing in that area. So which of us is right? Together we just might be able to remember our trip from Sashi and Sashi and designed by Sashi and Daryl Chow. Hey everyone, I'm Mike Murphy of the Brothers Murph here at Board Game Geek, and today's episode of In Focus is sponsored by the Board Game Geek store. Now I'm starting to remember certain bits of our trip, so let's get this game down to the table so we can remember our trip. In Remember Our Trip, 2 to 4 players will attempt to remember the trip they took the most accurately, cementing details from their trip as best they can. On the trip, players visited various city landmarks in either Kyoto or Singapore, but not everyone agrees on where everything was in the city. The game is played over 12 rounds in which players try to collect pieces of memory. Each player has an image board which surrounds the common map board. On each turn, a memory formation card is drawn along with image tokens. The memory formation card will dictate how many image tokens players will gather on their turn and the legal spaces those tokens must be placed in. For example, this card would allow players to collect a set of 2 tokens that must be placed in the same range of 4 horizontal spaces. However, these tokens don't need to be adjacent. The image tokens will show parks, hotels, shops, restaurants, and sightseeing monuments. Players must place the image tokens they gather onto their image board, which will represent how they remember the map of the city. If a player successfully adds image tokens in the shape of a matching land type, they may confirm their memory. Here, players will flip over all confirmed image tokens and score points shown on the back of the tokens. Next, players will check to see if their memory matches the collective memory on the common map board. The active player will check the coordinates of the tiles they confirmed and look to see if that matches what's in the city. If all coordinates are blank on the common map board, the player may place the matching tile into the city, confirming for all the location of that landmark, and they will receive full matching bonus points. If other land types are present in those same spaces, however, the active player will only score points for each image token that matches the common map board. As your player board begins to fill up, it might not be possible to place every image token each round, and every time you cannot place a token, it goes into the mistaken memories area of your board, which may lose you points at the end of the game. The game will end after 12 rounds of collectively remembering your trip, at which time players take a look at the state of their image board to see how well they remembered their trip. For the 4 travel photo spaces, players hope to have matched the landmark type with their color on their board and will gain or lose points for how many matches they made. An objective is drawn at the start of the game, which will award players 6 points if they manage to get the right amount of certain landmarks in their city, and players may lose points if they have mistaken memories. At the end of the game, the player with the most points has remembered their trip best and wins. Remember Our Trip plays with the idea of memory by giving you fragments of your trip that you hope to collect and make sensible once again. And you just hope upon hope that what you remember is the same as the rest of your friends. You can still score points if you remember a shop being smack dab in the middle of what everyone else agrees was a park, but they might look at you a little funny if you do. And if Remember Our Trip seems like a game you'd enjoy, consider checking out its page at BoardGameGeek.com to learn more. And if you're looking to upgrade your next game night, visit the Board Game Geek store today. And until next time, I'm Mike Murphy. I've been here at Board Game Geek, and we've been going in focus on Remember Our Trip. Have a memorable day.